Friday? Any knocks, injuries?
No, most guys are good. Obviously, Benno was slightly tight after the match, which would be understandable. But no, most guys are good, and we go into obviously a big week. So we Carroll comes back into contention as well. So everyone should be okay for Friday.
It's an unusual headache for you to have, a kind of a selection headache, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose it's a situation where we're looking at it's great to have that. We need everyone as fit and available, and it gives more competition. It makes training much more intense, and while it might cause the management team a little bit of a headache, it's a good place to be in.
And I suppose having the week off to prepare this week must be a godsend as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It's great because we know that we have had very few Friday night matches at home. Bray, as I keep saying in this league, every team can take points. Bray have proven that. You look at the results they've got. All the results have been against the top 5 sides. 4 of the top 5 sides. Rated and Dog, home to Derry, home to Rovers, home to Waterford. So it just shows you that all the teams raise their games, for against the top sides, and we know it's a huge game again for us Friday. We're in a good position, but we need to start well. We know Bray will play on the counter. Martin Russ has done a great job since he's come in, and all these games are always dangerous if you're not at your peak. And the more guys we have back from injury, from suspensions available for selection, keeps the pressure on everyone, and that's what we need.
Does the dog going back at the top of the table last night affect you in any way at all?
Not at all. I keep saying the table's immaterial at this stage. The most important from our point of view is that we've had a fantastic home form so far. The crowds have been phenomenal. The atmosphere has been phenomenal. Unfortunately, we've had very few Friday night matches, so hopefully we'll have a massive crowd Friday night, and hopefully we'll be able to get the 3 points. I keep saying from now to the break, a month's time, we have a good few games, and it's important for us that when we get to the break that we're up near the top, and make sure then that the second half of the season looks after itself.
John, what would you say is the main difference between the home form and the away form? Is it just the way that opponents set up away from home compared to at home, or is there something more to it than that?
No, I don't think so. I think if you look at all the results from every team, this year's league is much tighter. Teams are better or close the gap, whichever way you want to put it. And you look at everyone's results, and teams have. It's been a funny league in that a lot of teams have dropped points away from home. But at the same time, we went through a lot of changes across the back. Our team hasn't been as settled as you would have liked, and that might have caused for 1 or 2 of the games, but still, we had one away in Pats, we had one away in Bray, we had one away in Sligo, we had one away in Bowes, Drew and Derry in a very, very tight game where we could have won it, they could have won it. So, but I think that's the way the league is going to be, and I think this year home form is going to be crucial throughout the season, because teams are taking results off each other. And if you can keep and make our home ground, and if we can make turners across the fortress, then if you're picking points up away from home, you have a right good chance. So our home form to date has been good, but we need to keep that going.
Do you think Derry suffered from having to play yourselves last Friday and then Dundalk last night, that it was tough to go back to back?
Well, it's tough when you're playing teams that are at the top. We've encountered that with back-to-back 3-day turnarounds between the North and Shamrock Rovers, because you use so much energy, and obviously games are 50-50, and they're different type of games and they're higher intensity. So certainly, that can happen. I keep saying we must make sure that we look after ourselves. Where we've kept 19 sheets so far, which is fantastic, despite the fact that we've had a relatively new back four. Obviously, we're looking to see can we score more goals. We haven't scored as much as we would like, but still at the same time, we're in a fantastic position. If we won a game in hand, we'd be top. There's no major panic. For me, it's just about making sure that we keep our performance levels high, that we keep improving. and I feel that, you know, in the team and amongst the squad that has happened, and we just must keep that going.
And the team selection for Friday, will you make that with Monday's trip to Limerick in mind, or do you get Friday out of the way and then look at
To be honest with you, no, I always believe that you treat every game on its own merits, and the next 3 points are Friday, biggest game for us, and we must make sure, being at home, that we can take the 3 points. You deal with Monday after that and who's available, who gets a knock, but certainly for Friday night looks like we'll have everyone available, which will be good for us, and we'll deal with Monday then after that game.
The 10-team league, John, it shows you, and you said it from the start, every game is important to every team, because, you know, there's such a scrap on, and that's why the league is so competitive, isn't it?
It is, and you know, I think when you look at overall, you're looking at that people were saying that Bray were adrift and were gone, you know, 6 or 7 weeks ago, and they turn around and beat Shamrock Rovers and Derry, and they get a draw against Waterford, and Bray are going to get results because Martin is the super manager. He's got them organised. They're very, very dangerous in the counter attack. They have a lot of pace, and they've been a lot more solid. So from that point of view, you look out there and you're saying that, you know, it's still the first half of the season isn't even over. So there's lots and lots of games, and there's no guarantees that anything. And I think right to the end of the season, both at the top and at the bottom, there'll be a right running in both the situations, because I think it's got to the stage where we can see that teams are taking points off each other, and you know, we've seen that, and you know, even at the match last night, Bray and Waterford, you know, Bray were unlucky not to win the game. Granted, they were 2-1 down, but before they were behind, they had the opportunity to go further ahead. So it's just that's just the way the league is, and I suppose it's great. It's great for everyone, you know, that it's so competitive. But I don't think, you know, it's a situation for us and for me, for being around a long time. You know, I keep saying there's nothing to. I suppose I predicted that this year the league will be different. It'll be a lot more competitive, and it's just about making sure that you're thereabouts when you go into the second half of the season.
John, do you think you'll have to guard against an element of complacency maybe on Friday night? You mentioned that against in the Rovers defeat 2 weeks ago.
I'd be very
given Bray's kind of revival under Martin.
Well, I'd be disappointed because the lads are well aware of what they've done. You know, they've seen clips, they've seen areas that they're very, very strong in, and you know, we're not a club that is complacent, and you know, the management team in the last 5 years have worked incredibly hard to make sure that, you know, everyone treats every other team with respect, and you go and you approach in the right way. Of course, there are days when things don't go right for you. Maybe there are days when sometimes lads maybe take things for granted, but there's been very few in the period that we've been here, and the fact that you have more players back to select from and creates that competition should, you know, make sure that wouldn't happen to us on Friday night, and you know, Friday night will tell, but certainly I'd be very, very disappointed and surprised if we were any bit complacent.
Given you 3 matches in 8 days, again it's going to test the resolve and the strength of the bench and the squad in depth, really, isn't it?
Well, I think so far in the season it's been a very testing season. I suppose, you know, someone asked me the other day, did I think after this many games, you know, am I happy with the position? Would I have taken it 16 games ago? Absolutely. You know, I mean, to think that we're up at the top and with a game in hand, and absolutely, with a new team and a lot of new players coming in. So, you know, I just feel that that's just the way it's going to be. I don't think you're going to have any breakaway, and I think it'll be, you know, this season teams will drop points where people may not expect, and you know, that is already shown in the league, and Bray have already shown that, you know, to the teams that they've already taken points from. So you know, it's just the strength and depth at the moment is good. The lads have come off the bench have done well, and they all want to start, and the more pressure they put on coming off the bench puts them in contention to start, and that's good for us.